Hello everyone. Welcome to the class of E-Plan and Electrical Control Technology. In the last lesson, we learned one of E-Plan's unique error-checking functions, potential tracking. Through the function, we can check whether there is any problem with the schematic diagram so that it can be corrected in time. However, by potential tracking, we can only trace the potential and check whether there is any error in the circuit. But we cannot check whether the logic of the whole control system can be realized. If we want to know whether the functional logic of the system we designed can be realized, we need to use third-party simulation software. You can choose the simulation software according to your own needs and preferences. The simulation software selected for this course is CADe SIMU, which is a professional electrical drawing simulation software. Although its drawing ability is much weaker than that of E-Plan, it has considerable advantages in simulating simple electrical control circuits. Next, let's explore CADe SIMU electrical simulation software to see how it helps us verify logic functions. CADe SIMU electrical simulation software has two main functions. One is to draw simple electrical circuits. The other is to simulate simple electrical circuits. First, let's learn about the drawing function of this software.
The software requires an electrical schematic diagram drawn before simulation. Simply speaking, there are two steps. The first is to insert the required electrical component, like a motor, in the toolbar. Then insert the main contact of the contactor and place it above the motor. Since this software cannot automatically generate wires between components, the second step is to manually select different wires from the toolbar to connect components. The common electrical components to be inserted for drawing are embedded in the toolbar in the form of bar charts. When drawing, you can select corresponding graphic symbols and insert them into the appropriate position of the drawing area as required. As the drawing ability of CADe SIMU software is relatively weak, it will not be described in detail here. You can learn it yourself through online resources after class. To save time, directly open the simulation project file of the forward and reverse rotation circuit controlled in two places, which was drawn in advance in the simulation software. Note that the file with suffix .* shall be selected. In this way, the graphics drawn in advance are imported into the software, and then the electrical control circuit can be simulated. Let's first verify the function of the forward rotation circuit controlled in two places. Click the Simulation Run button in the menu bar. Except for the power supply and motor, all wires and components in the schematic diagram turn gray and enter the simulation state. Click the switch Q of the main circuit and the switch F of the control circuit so that the main power supply supplies power to the two circuits. Next, press the Start button SB2 to energize the coil KM1 of the contactor, and NO auxiliary contact KM1 is closed for auto-locking. Motor runs continuously in the forward direction. Press the Stop button SB1 or SB4. The coil KM1 is de-energized, and the NO contact KM1 is disconnected. The motor stops running. Similarly, press the start button SB5. When the coil KM1 is energized, the NO auxiliary contact KM1 closes to realize auto-locking, and the motor continues to rotate forward. Press the stop button SB1 or SB4 to disconnect the coil KM1 and close the NO contact KM1. Press the stop button SB1 or SB4 to de-energize the coil KM1, disconnect the NO auxiliary contact KM1, and stop the motor. The simulation verifies that this circuit can control the start and stop of the motor's forward rotation in two places. Finally, let's verify whether the circuit can control the start and stop of the motor's reverse rotation in two places. Press the start button SB3 to energize the coil KM2 of the contactor, and the NO auxiliary contact KM2 is closed for auto-locking. The motor runs continuously in reverse. Press the stop button SB1 or SB4. The coil KM2 is de-energized, and the NO auxiliary contact KM2 is disconnected. The motor stops running. Then press the start button SB6 to energize the coil KM2 of the contactor, and the NO auxiliary contact KM2 is closed for auto-locking. The motor runs continuously in reverse. Press the stop button SB1 or SB4 to de-energize the coil KM2 and close the NO auxiliary contact KM2. Press the stop button SB1 or SB4 to de-energize the coil KM2. Disconnect the NO auxiliary contact KM2 and stop the motor. It is verified that the circuit can control the start and stop of motor's reverse rotation in two places. Press the stop button to end the simulation.
Everyone, this lesson focuses on how to use CADe SIMU, an electrical simulation software, to check whether the functional logic of the whole control system can be realized so design drawings can be corrected. This software is easy to use and has a good simulation effect. It is very suitable for beginners to understand simulated electrical circuits. Have you got it, everyone? Okay, that's all for today. See you next time.